Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
Hey everybody, and welcome to a new semester of Ask Engineer. Get your textbooks out and sharpen your pencils, because it's me, Lady Ada, the engineer, with your teaching assistant, Mr. Lady Ada.
I'm like a hall monitor or
your hall monitor,
okay.
Giving out cards and stuff. I got an exciting show today. We've got all sorts of cool projects, great videos, new things. It's exciting. It's fall. We love it. Let's do this thing.
Okay, on tonight's show, the code is frequency. 10% off in the Adafruit store all the way up till midnight tonight. Get 10% off everything except for gift certificates and EagleCAD, that software. Show and tell, full house, lots of cool stuff, and more amazing projects. Pack the mailbag, we'll stop by. Talk a little bit about open source hardware, Arduino. Stop by the Adafruit jobs board. Adafruit learning system, all the amazing tutorials and more. On Time Travel Tuesday, look back in the world of makers, hackers, artists, and more. Science. Wearables. All that's fit to print. Oh, sorry, wear. And 3D printing, all the things that are fit to 3D print.
We also 3D print wearables.
We do. We do a lot of that.
That's why you're confused.
Pi Day. Yeah, I know. It's all converging. Pi Day. Everything that is the Raspberry Pi related. Cool new projects. More. We got some new products. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to have a trivia question. We'll also have some top secret stuff. All that and more. Yep. On, you guessed it, Ask an Engineer.
All right.
All right. Okie dokie.
It's you. It's me.
Yeah.
It's the internet. Let's do this thing.
Okay. So, first up, code frequency. In celebration of our album and our new video that we're going to show tonight. 10% off. Expires 11:59 p.m.
It's funny that we have a video and a record, both named Frequency.
Yeah. It's as if, if we tried to time it to happen in the same week, it would be impossible.
Yeah,
but
it was just a weird chance.
The album dropped and the
Video dropped.
New Circuit Playground, which we're going to watch soon on the show.
I want to call the next album Duty Cycle.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, it is up to you.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. Just another reminder, we're still kind of celebrating a 5-year anniversary of Ask an Engineer. We've been doing this for 5 years. Can you believe it? 5 years. Woo! Okay. So the beginnings of Ask an Engineer is like kind of end of August-ish, like September. It's
it's right. 5 years.
Yeah, it's 5 years. So anyways, that's what we've been doing this.
All right.
Every week. Next up, some more housekeeping. Bitcoin. We accept it. You can use it. You can use it on our site. That's right.
I love cyber currency.
Yep. Next up, the specials that we have going on right now.
Freebies.
Freebies, $99 or more, half size Perma Proto, 200 or more, free UPS crown.
Yeah, people like the Perma Proto a little bit more than the ruler, so we're going to stick with that for a little bit.
The rulers, some people, they order a lot and they're like, I've got 7 rulers.
I think rulers is tough, but Perma Protos you can always use.
Okay.
Well, think of some other stuff to give away.
Yeah, we're going to be adding a bunch of stuff soon.
I have ideas.
Okay, next up, the show and tell was massive. We do the show and tell every single week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What we do is we post up on Google Plus on plus.google.com/Adafruit, and people comment. They tell the projects they're going to share, and this is my favorite half an hour of the entire week.
It is my favorite too.
And it's just delightful people showing delightful projects from around the world. And
it's all delight.
Yeah, it's amazing. So quickly tell everybody what was on the show and tell. Okay,
we had a huge house full of packed people. I don't even know the words. It was standing room only. Tony DeCola from Adafruit Northwest showed off. He's been working on a lot of small little projects, but the last one he's checking out was he is trying out this DMA PWM hack to drive NeoPixels on a Raspberry Pi using a DMA buffer on pin 18, and he got it working. So there will be more code, more tutorials soon. It is very exciting. The person in the forums who posted this, totally awesome. Cannot remember their name right now. Noah and Pedro showed off what is going to come for next week, for tomorrow's 3D Thursday, starring Matt, Noah, and Pedro. They also showed off some future projects, including a lot of cosplay and props, and I don't even know, all sorts of nuttiness, including this week's project, which is going to be a 3D printed LED-ified Daft Punk helmet. So check that out, and also check it out tomorrow. Yeah. C. Scott came in with a mini audio synthesizer. He has transmuted himself into a synthesizer, and with playing the synthesizer, it made cool sounds. Richard had an electric imp bot, which was controlled over Wi-Fi using the electric imp, which is like a Wi-Fi microcontroller. And what's really neat is there was no other microcontroller involved. You just connected servos directly to the electric imp, and yeah, you can control it from your phone or whatever. Very cool. Daniel had a 3-meter analog clock using little meter movements, milliamp meter movements, and 3 of them together make hour, minute, and second analog clock with the LEDs in the base. And there's multiple little modes for the LEDs. They pulse or they blink or they do something else. And then so that was Daniel. And then Andy has a project called SD Flight, which is a custom GPS logger that he's been working on for a year now, that uses the ultimate GPS module and it looked like maybe an Arduino chip, an SD card socket, and it was designed for flight instructions so you can do direct to Google Earth import of GPS data. Very powerful.
Yeah,
and
super cool. You can see like your flight path and everything.
yeah, very
cool
useful project. And more on his website. Janet came back. We asked him a couple weeks ago if he could port the teeny Tetris game player that he made to the Pro Trinket, and he was like totally into it, and he totally finished it, and he shut it off, and it's really a beautiful design. One of the most elegant designs, 3D printed, magnets, Pro Trinket, battery charger. I can't wait. Hopefully I'll get one of these made and play with it.
Yeah.
Because I love Tetris. That's like all I really want anyways, just play Tetris on a little matrix. Sirif showed up with a whole bunch of LED stuff, NeoPixel stuff, and a NeoPixel clock. That was a college project, like a senior project or an end of class project that has like a shadow effect. Also a case mod. This was the first case mod we've seen, by the way. We've been doing this for 5 years. I don't think we've seen a case mod before.
Not on the show and tell, but I've seen NeoPixels in case mods.
I'm saying on the show and tell.
On the show and tell, this was the first.
This was like Alienware.
Yeah.
This was like a tower. It was like, get your ISA slots ready. I don't even know who has machines like that anymore.
It was cool. It was a cool machine.
Really like throwback Thursday. But hey, you know, like towers are, you could stick a lot of cool cards in them.
Yeah.
And this one had NeoPixels too, and it like did LEDs based on like battery usage or hard drive usage or network usage or whatever.
I like NeoPixel as kind of a platform. I'll call it a platform for people because they're taking NeoPixels, and instead of us saying we should make an RGB clock or we should do like instead of us saying let's make a product that already has all those things, people are taking NeoPixel and they're making their own versions. They have remote control glowing clocks.
I would never have thought of these things.
Yeah, all these like LED strips that do all these different stuff. It's really neat. It's cool.
And then also a net-controlled NeoPixel matrix. It was like a 5x10 matrix, and you could go to servicehusky.com/something, I don't remember, and type in words, and they would show up on the matrix, and it was neat. And then Nick Lopez was a still image, and then finally Robert came in the last second. But blew us away with an FPGA Mojo, which is like this little FPGA board we have in the shop. Directly driving a monochrome Mac Classic video display, like literally plugged into like the preamplifier for the Electron gun on the monochrome display and displaying video. And it looked super dangerous, but also really, really cool.
It was really cool.
There's like millions of these old Mac Classics, so this is good that we have projects to do with them. And that was your show and tell.
All participants on the show and tell get an As Seen on the Show and Tell sticker. Email support@adafruit.com and we will send you an As Seen on the Show and Tell sticker. Lady Ada, how do people join the show and tell?
Join the show and tell. It's super easy. Go to our Google Plus page at plus.google.com/plus_Adafruit and look for the post where you say comment here to get added to the show and tell circle. And then once you have commented there, we will be able to click on your little avatar and add you to the circle where you will join the many hundreds of interesting and fantastic and creative people who show up every single week on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. You beam yourself here, we beam you back out. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's really neat. We've been doing the show and tell for 2 years, and hundreds of people has shown off thousands of projects. It's been really neat.
Yep.
So, favorite part of the week. Back to the mailbag. This is our little packet entity. Back to mailbag stops by each week and reads off emails, letters, tweets, all sorts of things that people send in to us. Tim sent this in. Thank you for the quick response to my order problem. It is great. I will continue to support and refer to you for all my maker needs.
Okay.
I like Tim.
You have maker needs?
You got maker needs. We got
maker
we got what you got
solutions.
going on. Quick programming note for the folks out there that have hackerspaces and more. We are up to 1,048 resellers and hackerspaces worldwide.
Cool.
So we just passed the 1,000 mark.
Yeah.
And pretty much somewhere in the world, there's probably a place that has Adafruit products for you.
Okay.
So one of the reasons that we've really expanded our global network of resellers and hackerspaces is because it's so much easier to get things locally for shipping, for speed, for all that stuff. We love it when you order stuff from us, but if you are someone who sells electronics online, if you're a hackerspace, just go to adafruit.com/distributors and you can join.
The hackerspace thing I really like for a couple of reasons. One, a lot of people are doing projects together, and so they'll get together and they'll order whatever they need to finish their project.
Yeah.
Second, hackerspaces also need to do like projects, just, they have parties, they have events, or they have workshops, and they want to get parts for their workshops. So they can use the discount for that. And also, even if people are just members of the hackerspace and want to do their own individual projects, by pooling together, they can save money and save shipping costs. Because there's a lot of hackerspaces all over Europe, and like, why, it costs the same to ship 1 pound as 3 pounds. You might as well get as much stuff in one package as possible.
There's hackerspaces that they are funded because of the workshops they do. They buy the stuff from Adafruit at a 40% discount, and then they do workshops, and they're able to self-fund. That's one of the big problems with hackerspaces. It's a great idea up until the bills start showing up sometimes. So anyways, 1,048.
Do the math. You teach like a class once a week for 25 people, and the kit is like $30. That can help. You do once a week, and it can really help pay rent.
Next up, this is the promotion for the DNA Lounge, September 14th, Sunday, the Cocktail Robotics Grand Challenge. We're one of the sponsors, so if you're in the Bay Area, do check it out. Doors open at 9:30 p.m. There will be drinks and robots if you're into that sort of thing.
Who isn't? How could you not be? What are you doing here?
Yeah. Next up, our friends at CADsoft, who sell Eagle CAD, gave us some big news.
Yes.
So 10 months ago, we talked to Eagle CAD, and we said, hey, so many people keep asking to buy Eagle CAD from Adafruit. All the open source hardware companies seem to use Eagle CAD. There's lots of choices. You can always use KiCad, Gata, Altium. Bunny uses Altium, for instance. But we keep getting asked, is there any way you could sell? And they said, yeah, sure. So months later, contracts, we got all this stuff. It's very difficult, actually. Like big companies dealing with like selling software, it's very complicated. We got very good at like figuring out what you have to do right to make things make sense for big companies and companies our size. So that all worked out. We worked with them. And within a short period of time, we are now the top Eagle CAD seller in the Americas. Number one.
Okay.
And there's still more time for the end of the year. And like worldwide, we're way up there. So thank you everyone who decided to get Eagle CAD. We have the versions that Lady Ada picked that she likes the most. Those are the only ones. And it worked out. Many years ago, we did a conference call and a series of talks. It was Wendell from Evil Mad Scientists, myself, and we talked to Eagle CAD and we said, hey, we really want an XML export format. We want to make sure there's this like free version for people, like all this stuff that we wanted to have for the open source community, and they listened, they did it. So we thought that was kind of neat. On the Eagle pages, if you want to download KiCad or if you want to download Gita, we actually have links right there. We have tutorials that we link to as well. And if you want to award someone for learning Gita or KiCad, we have badges. We worked with both Gita and KiCad. If you purchase Eagle CAD, we send you out a free badge. So we got that going on. All right, next up, some news and more in Data for Jobs Award. I had this under Arduino because the jobs that in this week is for Tembu. So if you want to be a DevOps engineer for Tembu, and they're the ones who do a lot of Internet of Things infrastructure. For like the Yun is kind of well known.
Yeah, the Yun is. Well, you're not required to use it, but it's the back end that they suggest using, and it's plug and play with Arduino Ethernet and the Arduino Wi-Fi Shield, and the Yun. And so the tray probably also.
So if you want to get a cool job working for a cool company,
where are they at?
They're in New York.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, and so
Probably like next door.
Yeah, and so just a reminder, the Adafruit jobs board. Speaking of open source, we use the open source Jobber platform for our jobs board. But if you want to post your skills, or if your company is looking for makers, we've successfully played matchmaker to tons of makers and tons of companies, finding cool people in the community who want jobs, or cool companies who want someone to work for them. And we approve each one. There's no headhunters, no weird thing. It's a job that we think
Just a real job.
Cool. Next up.
Yeah.
Adafruit Learning System.
Yes.
Data, there's some new tutorials, updated tutorials.
Some tutorials.
Yeah, we got 3 this week.
Okay.
I think I got all of them. Sometimes it's hard because we get a lot, but you tell me. This is the HDMI monitor Uber guide.
Yes, we worked on this. Sorry, a little tired today. We worked on this the last couple of weeks, and John OBC finally wrapped it up. He did an excellent job with this. Basically, we have a lot of HDMI monitors in the store, and they're all a little bit different. We have 10-inch ones, we have pixel key displays, we have 5.6-inch displays, we have IPS displays, we have little mini displays, we have large ones, we have ones at audio. We have like basically every kind of combo of display that we prep and get ready here. We have like, I think like 15 different SKUs right now, and we're gonna be adding more, which will be exciting. Or traumatic. And we want to just have a guide that talks about all the different drivers and how the scaling works and like how to set up the configuration files and which ones have audio and which ones don't. So basically it's one guide that has a page for every single HDMI capable display. And these are displays that are often used with the Raspberry Pi, but can also be used with Windows. I use one with my Xbox for a little monitor. You can use it with a Mac, you can use it with a BeagleBone, you can use it with any HDMI output, pretty much everything has HDMI output. You can use it with a camera even. You can do whatever you want. And just goes through all of them and like basically tells you like, why is this one a little bit more expensive and this one is a little bit less and this one's bigger, this one's smaller, and the resolutions and all the little details. So yeah, if you're ever curious, check it out. It has everything, including like, all the menu options and all the goodies.
Okay, next up. This one's from Phil B.
This is, this is a little Phil B mini tutorial. This is actually a question that people had about Phil B's projects. He often throws in this gamma table into projects, such as NeoPixel projects, and people are always like, what is this? Gamma, is this like gamma radiation? Or he's like, no, it's about adjusting the brightness of LEDs to match what our eyes think of the brightness, because our eyes are logarithmic, not linear. But PWMing is linear, not logarithmic. And so you can use certain like binary coded, pulse width modulation type techniques, or you can use a gamma table. And he shows how basically the gamma table lets you squish the resolution around so it seems a little bit more linear. That way you don't have like, super bright and super dim, especially for the light painting. It's really important to have a gamma table, or it seems too bright and the colors don't quite match up. This is one of the things where if you only have 8-bit color per pixel, though, you have a little bit of, it suffers a little bit at the low end because you just don't have that much to move with. And so this is why like 12-bit PWM can be handy. There's some LED drivers that do 12-bit. That's why, so you can have like a lot of space for gamma correction. And also the Fade Candy, which uses dithering techniques to fake an extra bit or two. So yeah, these are basically like trade-offs with PWMing, brightness, control, et cetera, et cetera. Sometimes you have constant current control as well as PWM, which lets you kind of like squish around this issue. But it's a really good detail about gamma correction in general. Check it out. Generally useful. I also did a quick write-up for the Bluefruit Shield. I forgot to do one, and so I just kind of did one today. It's basically like the Bluefruit Easy Link. This is basically a shield that lets you do Bluetooth reprogramming and data sending and transmitting for an Arduino. You could use an Arduino Uno or Arduino Nove or a Mega, and you can basically reprogram it using Windows or Mac completely wirelessly, which is quite handy for some people. And it's a fun little shield, and now it has its own guide. Okay.
Next up, Time Travel Tuesday, a look back in science, historical events, things from Adafruit, all that. This one, a little bit sad, but I think it's one of the ones that had a big impact in a lot of people's lives. This is Kristen McAuliffe, born in 1948. She was the teacher that was on the Challenger, and in 1986, that's when the Challenger exploded. So sad. set back the space program, but boy, inspired so many people to still continue on. And we're still going to space. We're still doing lots of things. I was a little kid. I grew up in Florida, and I used to watch the space shuttle from where I lived, and it was in school. And I set my little watch. I marched out, and it was really sad. Okay. It was intense because all the kids knew that it was a teacher.
Yeah. So, no, I remember that was a big deal because she was a teacher, and everyone was like, so you can be a teacher and also go to space. Yeah.
So on another note, back in 2011, we had just got our first little pick and place, and we have footage from 3 years ago.
Okay.
To the day almost of us making eye necklaces. So
wait, this is the little pick and place now?
Yeah.
That's more than 3 years ago.
Well, this is 2011. But we had a video of what we were doing.
We didn't get it 3 years ago. No, we must have gotten it 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, but we had a video 3 years ago that we made 3 years ago.
I see. Yeah. Okay. Time.
Yeah. So you can see it here. This is when we had it in the front room too, I think.
Yeah.
So this is yeah.
Good chunk.
Look at it go.
Beep.
Okay. And then here's the stencil area here. All right. Let me put this solder paste on there.
Yeah.
There you are, stenciling. All right. And then the oven.
Toaster.
In here. There's a reflow oven, which is a toaster oven. Here's some of them being. And there you are doing these. All right.
All right.
This is probably the most fun part here.
Wow.
Lots changed in 3 years.
Lots changed.
It was only 3 years ago. Now you have two monster machines.
We have like 50 times the production. I can't even imagine making stuff now with something that picks up one part. I mean, it's a great machine. Yeah. But yeah, we need a lot of speed now for all the stuff we make, which is also getting more complicated. Okay. And yeah.
All right, wearables.
3 years, really? That's it?
Yeah.
Wow.
2011. Wearables this week. Becky has one of my favorite projects already. This is a 3D printed UV gel curing project.
Yeah, we'll talk about this after the video.
Take it away, Becky.
What's up, everybody? Today we're building a project to help you get salon quality manicures at home using 3D printing and DIY electronics from Adafruit. Okay, you probably already have some questions, so just let me take a minute to explain. If you've seen my videos before, you know I like to paint my nails. But what you might not know is it's UV gel polish. It's a different chemical formulation that's more durable, flexible, and lasts a whole lot longer than the air dry stuff. But it doesn't just look nice, it lets you do more stuff with your nails. You can open cans, change the battery on your camera, pick at some electronics. I like to call it structural nail polish. And without it, my long and useful nails would chip and break under the everyday pressures of, making stuff. But gel polish has to be cured in a UV lamp, which is something usually only nail salons have, or if you're like me, you buy one on Amazon, and it takes up as much space as a large toaster oven and has to be plugged into the wall. Doing your own gel manicure is easy if you have the right tools. Dare I say even easier than standard polish, because the different viscosities smooths out its own inconsistencies, and once it's cured, it's completely dry. Adafruit's UV LEDs, a PowerBoost 500C, and a battery make it easy to whip up your own manicure lamp at home. And we even designed this 3D printed enclosure to put it all together. Let's get started. Set your printer going with our free files in your favorite color while you solder up the light board. 30 UV LEDs fill up a half-size permaproto, wired in parallel, each with its own resistor. The board fits inside the frame with power and ground wires routed through this channel. Solder to the PowerBoost and attach a slide switch. Then test out your circuit with a 2500 mAh li-poly battery. Fix any forgotten solder connections and optionally affix some reflective sticky paper to even out the light inside the frame. Everything else goes together with machine screws, except for the eyes on the top lid, which need a bit of glue. The top compartment is useful for storing supplies, and you recharge the battery over USB. So while it may take a bit longer to cure than its higher power cousin, this portable lamp is great for touch-ups and travel, or for trying out our NFC manicure project for unlocking your phone. So I hope you're inspired to go build your own version of this project. Everything you need is in the tutorial, which is at the link in the description. Then you can share it with us on our weekly show and tell hangout on Google+. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like this video, subscribe for more electronic 3D printing from Adafruit.
All right. Next up.
Handy electronics.
Yeah, tomorrow is
Really
our big 3D printing day, 3D
Yes.
Thursday. We have 3D Hangouts with Matt, Noah, and Pedro. That's tomorrow. We had a special arrival here at Adafruit. This was the helmet that Noah and Pedro just sent us. And here's a video of you with it, Lady Ada. And this is a 3D printed Daft Punk helmet. It was made on a Taz because it's a giant.
It's enormous.
Yeah, it's a giant helmet.
I'll turn it on.
And
This was a 49-hour print.
yeah, it was.
But it came out, which
yeah,
is amazing.
It was a huge print. So there it is. There's.
It takes one full spool of PLA.
So
right? Is it PLA? I'm assuming it's translucent. I don't think ABS is translucent.
You'll see this and more on 3D Hangouts. So there you are. Hey, look, there's two of you now. That's great. Okay, and we're going to keep moving right along. Next up is video from the previous week, and it is the Mac Mini project. So this is a little tiny Macintosh, and we're going to have them take it away.
In this project, we're going to show you how you can build your own Mini Mac Classic with 3D printing in the Raspberry Pi. The front panel easily detaches from the enclosure using magnets. This DIY build lets you boot into Mac OS 7 and run classic Mac apps like Mac Paint. The open source design is free to download and available to customize using CAD software. The largest part takes about 4 hours to print and fits on most 3D printer beds. The enclosure is separated into 5 parts that are optimized for printing without any support material. You can get all the parts for this project by heading over to Adafruit.com. Get the full tutorial for this project by checking out the guide on the Adafruit Learning System. The Raspberry Pi is secured behind the TFT display, and the large parts are secured together with machined screws. A slide switch connects to the PowerBoost 500C, and a rechargeable lithium battery makes it easy to power. The enclosure even has enough space for a small speaker and stereo amplifier. Using magnets to secure the front and back panels actually makes it easy to get to the components. The PowerBoost 500C allows you to recharge with a battery or wall charger using micro USB. The Pi runs a flavor of Mini VMac and emulates Mac OS 7, allowing you to run those old school Mac apps. The Ethernet and USB ports are easily accessible for networking and connecting other devices. A panel mount HDMI cable is secured to the back panel, allowing you to connect an external display. What old school computer would you miniaturize in 3D print? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more 3D printed projects from Adafruit.
Okey-dokey, and we're back. Pi stuff.
Okay, can I show off the little?
Yeah, because we're
it's Pi. It's half Pi,
yeah, half
3D.
Pi, half 3D.
So this is the little Mac. I have a Ethernet, the Wi-Fi adapter because I wanted to be able to SSH in. But yeah, it's a little Mac.
Yeah. Do you want to show it on the?
Yeah, it's even wireless. You charge it. It's got a PowerBoost 500 over here, and there's a little handle. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I can show it on the overhead.
Yeah, go to the overhead just to show that it's really. If you bring it closer to the thing, it'll focus in on it, or farther away maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
Yeah, you can play sounds. Hold on. The only thing is it's hard for me to see what I'm doing from over here.
What are you trying to do?
Well, I was trying to close these windows. Okay, so yeah, you can have like the...
There you go, puzzle and calculator.
Puzzle.
That's great. Get a little Mac.
And then it's using the capacitive touchscreen, but you can also use the mouse and keyboard. Yeah, you can maybe I'll shut down. Why not? Now, safe to switch off. Yeah, the screen is a little bit smaller, and so that we compiled the image so it thinks the screen is 320 by 240, but some hard-coded stuff is still a bit too long. But yeah, it's a little Mac, and it has audio even. Okay. And you can run games. And there's actually a video. It's based off of another person's tutorial, which is really good. And it shows he's playing old games and After Dark, flying toasters and all sorts of cool stuff. So do check it out. It's also handy if you just want to have a portable little Mac. You know, you can have a command line if you want, and run programs on your little Mac guy.
Okay.
Hi, logo.
All right. Next up, don't forget we do have the Raspberry Pi B pluses. Everybody wanted these. We got them. We've got 2 bits of news. First one is check out raspberrypi.org. They just announced that there's a new Raspberry Pi browser that's super optimized. So great HTML5 support, hardware accelerated video decoding, ARM6 optimized functions, better interactivity during page loading, faster scrolling. So it'll be on future releases of Noobs.
There's like assembly involved, like they
Yeah.
hand coded stuff. It can do it can do videos and at real speed. Intense amount of work, but really cool. You can just grab it, just have internet connectivity and run those commands, and it'll update. And yeah.
Okay, and then next up, this was a cool article on the Adafruit site. There is a science fair, and an 11-year-old won. It was the ICT Explorers competition, and the teacher was, quote, suspicious that a parent or teacher has fabricated the device that this kid won, and was asked a series of technical questions about its construction and operation. And this 11-year-old answered them flawlessly, detailing each of his steps and creative process. He wasn't faking it. He really knew his stuff. And the person said to the kid, "Where did you learn all this?" And the kid said, "Oh, I watched some videos on Adafruit."
That's us.
That's like the best. That's like the best thing in the world.
Cool.
Yeah, this kid's like, I just watched some videos on Adafruit.
Yeah, all you do is like watch a couple videos of these like puppets, and like you're a better engineer than like most graduates.
Yeah, so it's a cool clock that has a Raspberry Pi in it. It's really neat.
it.
But anyways, check out the article. Super fun.
We have almost 600 tutorials in the learning system. Anything you want to build, like you can do it.
It's hard not to learn something.
It's hard not to learn something. If you want to build a project, I mean, like. We got like almost everything covered, and what's cool is that a lot of people build similar projects, but they don't follow step by step the tutorial. Which, anyways, if you did, you'd still learn something. They actually take it and then modify it, and like this kid took 3 tutorials actually, and then mashed them together to make this clock project, and that's the creativity, right? Like,
yeah, no excuses out there, 11-year-olds.
Yeah, are you 11?
Yeah.
Or older?
Okay. So next up, we have the world premiere on, at least Ask an Engineer, of F is for frequency. It's our kids show. We've done A is for ampere, B is battery, C is for capacitor, D is for diode, E is a music video, so we're filming. It's going to take a while to do.
Wait for that one.
And now we're at F is for frequency.
F is frequency. And then next up is G is for ground.
Yeah, that might be a music video too. These are getting more complex. This is our kids show. That we're hitting the 5-year-old demographic now.
Yeah.
But take a look. This has it has a talking oscilloscope.
Adabot, what's up?
I was wondering, why do radio stations each have their own number?
Oh, the number of a radio station is the frequency on which it transmits.
What is this frequency you speak of?
Well, frequency is how often something happens, like per second.
Huh.
Oh, to explain it, I better use my trusty oscilloscope here. Only thing is, I gotta go get the probes, so I'll be right back. Okay, wait here.
Psst, hey, over here.
What? Who said that?
Me, the talking screen over here?
Oh, hello, talking screen.
I'm not just a screen, I'm an oscilloscope, and I can tell you quite a bit about frequency.
Really? Like what?
Well, like Lady Ada was saying, frequency is how often something happens over time. And we measure frequency in units called hertz.
Oh, does frequency hurt?
Oh no, that's a totally different word.
Oh, good.
Hertz is spelled H-E-R-T-Z, and it tells us how many times something happens per second.
Okay.
Watch this. Right now, my screen is flashing once per second, so we can say it is flashing at a frequency of 1 hertz. Now, my screen is flashing a bit faster, 3 times per second, which is a frequency of 3 hertz.
Got it. Hertz means how many times per second?
Precisely.
So, why is frequency important for radio stations?
Good question. You see, A radio station uses a large antenna to send out waves of electromagnetic energy. We call these radio waves. Each station broadcasts at its own special frequency, so they don't get confused with another station. So, for example, when you tune your radio to 93.9, you're telling it to only receive radio waves which have a frequency of 93.9 million hertz. Your radio then converts those radio waves into sound, so you can hear the station which broadcasts at that particular frequency.
This is 93.9 WBOT, The Bot.
All that happens so I can hear music?
Yes, it does.
Amazing.
Indeed. And frequency is important for audio as well.
Like sound waves from a speaker?
Exactly. A sound wave is a vibration moving through the air. And the frequency of a sound wave determines the pitch of that sound. A slow-moving or low-frequency wave sounds low-pitched and bassy. And a fast-moving, high-frequency wave has a much higher pitch.
So slow waves sound low, and fast waves sound high?
That's right.
Found him!
Ooh, someone's coming. I've gotta go. Take care, Adabot, and stay curious.
Thank you, oscilloscope. I will.
Okay, I found my oscilloscope probes. Sorry it took me so long, but now I'm just going to hook them up to my oscilloscope here, and I'm going to be able to teach you all about frequency.
No need, Lady Ada. It all makes sense now.
Really?
Frequency is how often something happens over time. Frequency helps us tune into radio waves, or create a sound wave at a certain pitch.
Wow, you do know a lot about frequency. Where'd you learn all of that?
Well, my friend the oscilloscope taught me a lot. Hey, oscilloscope, you okay in there?
Okay.
All right, excellent work, Colin and you
Yeah.
as Puppet.
It's like
Colin, I mean, I don't want to ruin it for you,
like-
but Colin was the
It's like Sesame Street for electronics. We
Yeah.
got that going on here.
Okay.
Nothing else is like it. We're working on the next ones. If you got young ones out there, or if you're just an adult and you're kind of embarrassed, you don't know what frequency is, you can watch this too.
Yeah, but I think it's, what's going to be fun is we're going to, we build on previous ones. And so when we get to, O is for oscilloscope, or I don't even know, S is for sine wave, we'll probably refer to F is for frequency. So we start with the basics like amperes, batteries, capacitors, and we're slowly going to build all the way up to Zener diodes and Yagi antennas and X-rays. So I don't know. It's great. This is, we know what we're doing for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So it takes about a month to make.
Yep.
A little bit more.
Nothing besides probably what you do, which is doing incredible engineering. Maybe the second or third hardest thing is coming up with things for children to learn electronics.
Yeah.
It's really hard, and you have to do it in a great, entertaining
There's
way.
nothing else like it.
Yeah,
What are you going to compare? You can't copy or crib.
Yeah.
Yeah, start from the beginning.
Okay, so before we go on to the new products, the code is frequency, and that gets you 10% off in the Adafruit store all the way up until midnight.
Including the album Frequency, which we released last week.
That's right. Okay.
Okay.
Speaking of new products, new product time, lady.
All right, let's do it.
All right, first up, it's a robot arm.
It's the Me Arm from Phenoptics. This is a little pocket robot arm. It uses micro servos. It's a DIY kit. You get all the parts and screws and hex nuts and servos, and you have to put it together. It's kind of like it's an arm kit, but it's a little bit more for people who are comfortable with. You're gonna have to write some code for it. There is some example code, but it's not like it's take it out of the box and it's ready to go. You have to put it together, and it's a little bit delicate, but you can still do basic tasks and move around, and it's a good way to learn about reverse kinematics and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's really beautiful, and can probably do some basic functions. You see an animated GIF here of it just kind of moving and picking up something. There's a video also on the website of it picking up something and moving it over and dropping it.
Okay.
So this is your own little worker arm.
Next up.
This is headers for the BeagleBone Black. We have a couple of these packs in the store. If you want to make your own BeagleBone cape for BeagleBone Black, or actually even the original BeagleBone, these are 2x23 headers. I mean, it's just like easier than grabbing a bunch of 40-pin headers and breaking them apart. These are just like plug and play. That's it.
Okay.
Gold-plated. They're nice.
All right, and then we got a bunch of Pibos.
Yes, we now have the B+ Pibos in. So I can actually even show some off, but that's the Ninja Pibo. We also have the Timber Pibo. These are for the B+. Oh, let me show this off. So this is the, I want to do the auto lock.
No.
Focus. Do it. All right. Nice work. Yeah, this is the for the B+. You see there's a lot of ports, Ethernet, USB. And then over here there's nothing because that's no longer, oh no, sorry, there's a, yeah, this is, I'm confused. Yeah, this is where the GPIO cable could come out if you wanted to. Those are slots for the camera and for the display. There's a little slot for the micro SD. And then over here, there's connectors for audio and video, HDMI, and USB. It's a lovely case from Pimeroni. It holds it very, very securely. And people really like the version for the Model B, so I think they will really like the version for the Model B+. We also have the classic Rainbow Pibo, which is also very much loved. Same basic design, but cut out of rainbow. That's where the original Pibo came from.
Okay.
And then we also have the coupe. I don't know if we...
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter because I have photos of all of them. Yeah, I got photos of this.
We have parts. There's like the wooded one. There's the timber. There's the rainbow. The rainbow. All these images are of course way better than. And there's the coupe, which is like the lowrider version, so you can plug stuff on top.
Yeah. We got it all.
Return of the timber Pibo. Yeah, Pibo party.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, you put in a 6-pack of trinkets.
Yeah. Some people asked for a 6-pack of Pro trinkets. Just like we have for the plain trinkets. The Pro Trinket pack, you get 3 3-volt and 3 5-volt. This is good if you're just like, hey, you know, you want to build a bunch of projects and you think you might want 3 or 5-volt Pro Trinkets for them, which of course you will. And comes with a header for all of them, and it's basically like buy 5, get 1 free. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it would be fun to have a little 6-pack.
Okay. And next up, this is super cute. I like this a lot.
This is new from Evil Mad Scientist. They just came out with this. This is much like their 555 kit. They now have a DIY 741 kit, and it's beautiful. And who doesn't love the 741? Which is, I don't know if it was the first. It might have been the first internally compensated op amp. If not, it's definitely one of the first. It's very, very early.
On the overhead.
Show on the overhead. So it's big, but it looks like an 8-dip. And it's got these handy little thumb screws. You put in all the transistors. There's that magical internal compensation capacitor. Nice work there. National, I think. Oh, I don't remember who did the SM41. A 33 picofarad capacitor lets you basically use it without having to worry about external compensation. So kind of you just run an open loop very nicely. Or I mean, it's still closed loop, but you know you don't have to worry so much about gain bandwidth issues. And it's called the XL741.
Yeah.
It's not even that hard. It's only like 25 parts. Amazing. But this was.
I like that they got this metal bent for it, and the circuit board. It's a really nice circuit board.
Yeah, they have this matte black
Yeah.
circuit board, and then the legs are all metal. They don't conduct. They're all connected together, so don't use those for connectivity. But instead of a foam, it's actually a bent aluminum or a bent base metal.
Okay.
Very nice, discrete op amp.
Yeah, and then next up, what everyone's been waiting for. Not really. It's just a battery thing.
Yeah, this week was a short week, so we don't have. We have a lot of new stuff next week. I mean, like it's going to be like pick and place party.
Yeah. So what is this thing? It's a battery holder?
This is a very handy thing which you never knew you needed. If you want to take something on the road that has a DC power jack and has like internal regulator, something that needs like 5 to 9 volts, It's a little annoying because you have to get like a bunch of AA batteries, and it's like it's hard to get like a rechargeable system, especially if you want like a big, powerful battery. And people really like lithium-ion batteries, and so these are camcorder batteries for the. This is actually really seriously old. These are at least like the design 10 years old. They're still used for camcorders as you know, Sony NP F750 or 770 or 550 or 570. This is a fairly easy to find camcorder battery. They're chunky, but they work very well. They're internally balanced, and you can get chargers for them. And it's 7.4-ish volts output. And then, yeah, you can basically use the charger that comes with these batteries. You can get the charger at Amazon or eBay or your local electronics shop, and then you snap it in, and then it's got a little DC power jack. I'll show it on the overhead as well. It's just a holder, but it's quite handy, and it's got also mounting holes, actually VESA mount holes. It's designed for monitors and stuff. But yeah, snap in the battery, and then you've got a plug. Basically, you want to have a rechargeable lithium-ion solution that can give you more than 5 volts DC, or you want to regulate down to 5 volts. This works quite well, and yeah, you can get batteries that are, this is the double thickness ones, but they have ones that are half the thickness, and there's also ones that are even thicker for like 10,000 milliamp hours, so like crazy amp hours.
Okay. And with that, Lady Ada, that was new products.
Yay.
Good work. Okay.
Thank you.
Don't forget, code is frequency. If you want to get any of those things 10% off that's in stock, you can do it all the way up till midnight tonight. Here's the thing. It's time for some top secret. It's not out yet. Don't ask.
What?
Yep.
What?
All right. First up.
Don't ask.
First up.
What?
We do, on average, 31 videos a month now.
Okay.
And a lot of people
pressure.
A lot of people would say, you know what? That's it. Just one a day. That's it. Just stop there. Congratulations. You're like a TV show, network, internet, engineering, tutorial, hardware company thing. But no, we're not stopping. We have a new series that we're going to be doing soon. Okay. And here is the first look of the animated intro.
Okay.
Bruce did a good job. I like it. So here it is. And the series is going to be called From the Desk of Lady Ada. So here's a bunch of stuff that Lady Ada has. She doesn't use a phone. Nope. She has flip-flops. Oh, what time is it? Oh, all day.
It's late.
Here's my lamp.
Here's my lamp I stole from Media Lab.
From the Desk of Lady Ada. So that's
embarrassing, but it's okay.
It is. This is what it's like to be around you.
This is in fact me.
So this is just a show from the Desk of Lady Ada. We're going to be doing it soon. It's where you talk about some of the decisions you make behind the scenes when you do a design.
Yep, it's kind of like an engineering background. It's unscripted. It's just me. And my Luxa lamp that I stole from Media Lab, and my flip flops. And we're going to be basically with the whiteboard, and we talk about like, why did I choose something? Chances are, if you're on the internet, you're probably like, she chose that because she's dumb. But actually, sometimes there's reasons why I choose the parts I use, and there's always trade-offs when you do layout or part selection, or like what I decide to design in the first place. And so I think we'll try to do like once a month or once a week or whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna try this out.
I don't know how often you're gonna make me do this.
We're gonna be filming it soon. Don't ask. Next up.
Don't ask. Talk about electronics.
Yeah. Here is a hyperlapse using that new Instagram thing, and this is sort of a big announcement. This is the first time we really talked about it. This is
our Ada storage.
Adafruit is expanding. We will be more than double the size of where we are now.
Yeah.
Probably by the end of 2014. We already have a giant factory here in Manhattan, in New York City, and we're going to basically double in size soon. We're really excited.
Wow.
It's a big deal.
Look at all the space I have for my helmet.
This is the space. We have some work to do, of course, in this other space. But we were able to quickly check it out.
So now we have the entire floor, or we will have the entire floor, which is half city block, I think.
Yeah.
A quarter or half city block.
So
it's going to be big. We're going to, we are very efficient, and we have lots of space for everybody. We're not even as packed as like many New York companies that I've seen. But it's always good to have more space, and we signed a lease for twice as much space.
Yeah, so please buy a kit.
Yeah,
I gotta pay the bills.
Really high.
But this will allow us to do even more. So
very exciting.
Yeah. Okay, so that was top secret donut.
I know what I'm doing for 10 years.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna now do some questions. I'm gonna.
Okay, yeah, we have question time.
I have speed rounds for you. Ready?
Oh, that's this thing.
Okay, Lady Ada.
Do this thing. 741.
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
Gotta answer these questions fast. First up, Adafruit Trinket. Why use 3 volt or 5 volt, one over the other? Why?
For Trinket and Pro Trinket, we have 3 volt and 5 volt versions, and there's two different. Yeah, basically there's a couple different reasons why you might want to use one or the other. For the most compatibility with our existing Arduino code, which sometimes depends on analog voltages or uses electronics that's 5 volt logic, you'll want to use the 5 volt version because the 5 volt runs at 16 megahertz, which is the same clock as the classic Arduino Uno, and so you get to run a little bit faster because you're running at 5 volts. But the problem is that if you want to run off of a couple batteries, you may not be able to get 5 volts out of those batteries, and so the 3 volt Trinket and Pro Trinket run a little bit slower. The Pro Trinket runs at 12 megahertz, the Trinket runs at 8 megahertz, so it's a little bit slower than 16. And the voltage is a little bit lower, which might be a pro or con depending on whether you are interfacing with 3 volt logic. If so, you don't need a little shifter. And use a little bit less power. And yeah, you can run off of like a LiPo battery directly and it will regulate from the 3.7 volts down. So yeah, you don't need a boost converter maybe. There's like just trade-offs. For most people, I suggest going to 5 volt to start. Also you can always under voltage the 5 volt. You can run at 3 volts and it's like usually okay. You can run it a little bit lower and try that out. It's usually fine. And because it runs at the same speed, you're more likely to have compatibility happiness.
Okay, next up, how do you boot a BeagleBone Black directly to terminal instead of the GUI? Can you do that?
That's a good question. I don't know. I use the console cable for terminal. You might want to check the Google group for the BeagleBone Black because they have a lot of details that they know about it.
Okay. Next up, we're going to continue to go through these very fast. This one's, I guess, for me. No good open source ERP system? No. So there's a list on Wikipedia of all of them. If you just search for open source ERP systems, there's a lot. I've looked at a ton of them. Here's the problem. No matter
there's something good news though. There's no good closed source ERP
there's
system
no good
either.
Commercial one either. We made our own, and we've written about it many times. We've open sourced the pieces that we could that we thought would be useful to the world. But if you're going to do it right, you really got to build your own. I really believe it.
Yeah.
I do.
Build it slowly
but check
but
out the
surely
list
the way
on
you need to.
Wikipedia. Can I print a mold in translucent PLA and print the resin and cure it in the UV thing? Yeah, the Formlabs thing you can make little models.
If you have a way to mold it that's translucent and as long as it is reactive to the UV nanometer wavelength, so check your resin, it'll tell you what wavelengths you need, and then check the datasheet for the UV LEDs. But it's quite powerful. I mean, like it is, it's not a massive UV lamp, but it's pretty powerful. You can probably erase EEPROMs and you can cure UV nail polish.
Next up, someone want to know how much do they think it would cost to have this helmet printed? I'm gonna take a guess. I'm gonna say over $1,000.
Really? You think so?
I think so. I think over $1,000. I think that's to get it this quality and just kind of arrived at your door like this.
Or you could just borrow a friend's 3D printer.
Yeah,
you can use.
I think so. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think
this is too big for a replicator, but it is not too big for a TASBot or maybe.
Yeah, if you send it off.
Yeah,
it might be. But we'll
I don't know. But you know what? It's free to quote. So send off a quote, and I don't know. Or if you need to make 3, you're actually better off just buying a 3D printer, right? And then just printing them yourself.
All right. Next up.
Weekend-long project.
Yeah. Why a Raspberry Pi B rather than the B Plus for the Mac Mini project?
I think that Noah and Pedro, when they started working on this project a while ago, these projects, by the way, I know they look like they take only 5 minutes to do, but a lot of them actually take many months of time to prep and prepare and document and finish and model. So it was probably started before the Model B Plus was really available, and also they had the model for the B. The B is still in production. We have an order for more coming, and so yeah, it's a lot like for example, I had the 3.5-inch Pi TFT, which I designed, and even though the B Plus has been out for more than 2 months now, I still didn't really finish the design till after beforehand. So we have the B model coming up for the B Plus. It's a trade-off, but there are Bs around in the universe, and there will be more. So,
Okay.
or you can adapt the 3D model to the B+.
Is the Adafruit analog out servo micro?
I don't think the Adafruit analog out servo is micro.
Okay.
I do not understand the question. Sorry.
Next up, this is from Chris. Is the radio frequency Sesame Street style cartoon going to be part of the Adafruit blog? So if I have a baby boy on the way, and when he's old enough, I'd love. It'd be great to show him. Yeah, everything's on YouTube. Just search for
it's on YouTube.
Circuit Playground. Next up, is the 741 kit usable? Can you use it as a real 741?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Evil Mad Scientist you're
Why
talking
would you
about.
build this? No, they don't have a data sheet.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, did the Pro Trinket 3 volts work with Adafruit's NFC breakout?
Anything that is Pro Trinket should work with anything that works with Arduino. We haven't tested that specific thing, but I'm pretty confident that the Pro Trinket 3 volt and 5 volt will work over I2C using the NFC. There's no strange pinouts. It's the same chipset, same code and everything. So I would try it. Probably works.
Okay. And next up, thank you, someone noticing what is the new overhead. So for years we struggled finding an overhead that could do HD video, that could
Isn't this a nice overhead?
look fantastic. So this is the HoverCam 8. It just came out not too long ago. It's an HD document camera, and it's really good. You can see fantastic details. That will UV stuff is probably bad.
Well,
scene
I'm not pointing the UV right at it.
No, bad scene because it'll change the focus of the.
That's fine.
But anyways, yeah, it's really good, and finally, because we had HD this way, and getting HD, a camera that's meant to focus on small things is
and it has
really
a
hard.
built-in light, and it's pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a little glary, but this is what it is.
Yeah.
But as document cameras go, we are very happy with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's called the Solo 8
Yeah.
HoverCam. All right.
Okay.
Nice work finding it.
Yeah, and let's see. I'll try to get through a couple more. How many breakout boards do we make in a day through the various machines? Thousands now.
In a run, I mean, it depends how complicated, but a basic breakout, we can do a run easily 1,000 of them in like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, we have 2 Samsung pick and place machines that have 40,000 CP components per minute.
Components per hour.
Per hour, sorry, yeah.
2, it's 30,000. Anyways, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And with the stenciler and the board loader, it's very automatic now too.
Okay.
So yeah, we can do, we could probably make 10,000 boards a day. I mean, what takes a long time now is actually testing them and bagging them up. It takes way more time than actually making them.
Yeah. And then last up, I'm just going to do this one. Someone had another camera question. What is this camera? This is a
Panasonic
GH3. I just got the GH4. This is GH3. It does HDMI, HD out via HDMI, and then I go through a Blackmagic converter. And this is one of the only cameras that doesn't have the interface when you do HD out.
Yeah, usually there's a little block that says focus or some weird things, but this one is a video.
So, Lady 8, it's now time to give something away. We're going to give away Frequency.
The record?
The record. Frequency, the record. Okay. That's the prize tonight. Okay. First person to type this in the chat. Oh, do the rules.
Yeah, so rules are only one winner per lifetime of my lifetime. So if you have won something on Ask Engineer, you can't win again. If you won something on the other shows, you can still enter here. That's cool. You can win one from every show that we have or will have. The prize is a record. The first person to type in the correct answer in the YouTube or Ustream chat, whichever we see first, is the winner. Remember, it is a record. There's also a free download of MP3s, but it is a analog spinny thing. So maybe, enter if you have one or access to one.
Okay, the trivia question is, if you go to adafruit.com/distributors, how many distributors does Adafruit have? It's the first sentence on there, adafruit.com/distributors. This is going to make a bunch of people go there and say, oh, now look at all those distributors I know.
And hackerspaces.
Yeah, adafruit.com/distributors.
Okay.
So we'll see who types in the chat room first. I'm on YouTube, and I'm also on Ustream. Whoever gets there first.
Okay.
How many distributors?
It smells kind of fruity in here.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like grape.
It's grape flavored PLA.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. It's purple, maybe it's grape flavored.
All right, so let's see who types in the number of distributors. Congratulations, Microhex, 1,048. You win. You win an Adafruit frequency record, courtesy of Adafruit. Email support@adafruit.com. email, and we will send that out to you. Okay, that's the show for tonight. We'll see everybody next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as usual. Special thanks to all the folks out there who watch and support Adafruit each week, all the Adafruit staff members that help us run the show here, all the folks that are still here in the Adafruit factory that are doing their thing. And
can we put this on the cat?
Nope.
Oh, come on.
Calf punk.
Calf punk?
Yeah. Speaking of, here is picture a cat, and here is your moment of Zener. And everybody, I think I'll play the record on the way out too.
Okay.